What up? What it do? Jay Walking. What it do, my brother?
Man, in Paris, I had injury today. Dealing with that person who shall remain nameless. Nah, never mind. Derek Chauvin got convicted of murder, so I'm really excited about that. We need that.
What's his first initial of his first name? Say the initial.
D. Like
yeah, we're gonna have a good day. That's what that means. Carolina Dirt. What it do, man?
What's going on with you? Just another day.
I like that. What that P stand for on your forehead? That has several meanings to the letter P.
However you take it, we're gonna roll with it.
It could be potato salad, pussycat. I don't know. Parts.
Player.
Ain't none of that. Yeah, I ain't putting none of that on my head.
Miss Broker's a joke. What it do? What it do? AKA the Red Cat.
Ain't nothing going on but the rent. Ain't nothing going on but the rent.
Welcome to another edition of the Let's Talk Under the Tree podcast. We're talking about a broke mentality. Everybody has a story, where it come from, where it may derive. Does it carry on as a generational curse? Are you not really broke, but you just think it? You know what I'm saying? Maybe, maybe not. But guess what? We're going to find out. One time for your mind. What they say, Jimmy?
2 times for your soul.
We'll be back in 20 seconds.
Who is you?
Yeah, this is a story of Fanny's dog. The dog.
Okay, we back. You always hear, some folks, I'm sure y'all heard it. What is a broke mentality? What's going on with it? Where it come from? I don't know. Is it right or wrong to think like that? Who gives a shit? But we're going to start off with Tricky Nikki. What's your take on that?
Broke mentality?
Yeah.
I think the broke mentality is basically your way of thinking. You trapped into most people be trapped up in the way they be brought up. You know what I'm saying? And the lifestyles that they've been shown and accustomed to, and they develop those characteristics of those people that they've been around, or their parents, the people that raised them, and they kind of just get stuck on that hamster wheel. You know what I mean? Like, ain't going nowhere. You ain't really getting nothing out of life. You're not really living. You get some people that say they broke. They whole damn life they saving for a rainy day, only to wake up one day 75 years old and you never had rain. Now you're too late to do anything.
You sound like the weatherman. Yeah, you sound like
that was a rhyme right there. That's a verse.
Yeah, that's a verse. It sounds something like I ain't no joke, or from Eric and Rakim.
Hey, that's a good comparison. I'll take it.
No, don't do that.
Don't do that. But some people, when you try to talk to them about, finances, this is what they do right here.
Stick up.
They just laugh in your face. You know what I'm saying? Carolina Dirt, what you got on the topic, man? What you think?
All right, now this is topic right here. This is down to my soul right here.
Before you answer, don't do TD Jakes like last week. But
don't do that. But it might come out like that. But
do what you do. Go do what you do. Then.
I got to be a baseline of what broke is, because everybody's definition is different.
Go ahead.
Like, you got some people that's broke, You got some people that's broke that they live in paycheck to paycheck, but they got life insurance, they got stock, they got 401k, they got health insurance, they got dental insurance, they got vision. You know, that don't mean they broke considering the man over there making $500, but he's paying his insurance out of his pocket. He
Mm-hmm.
got money every day, but he got to stay healthy every day. So when you look at it, there has to be a baseline of broke, and I think there's no baseline of being broke. Um, if you making $9 an hour, that don't mean you broke. That just means you down right now. Because the person that's making $1,000 a week might be blowing it on shoes, you know, blowing it on materialistic shit. So there has to be a baseline, and we have to identify the baseline of being broke. Your interpretation ain't the same thing as my interpretation.
Right.
Right.
A lot of the old people, I'm sure y'all heard this too. They got money, but they might say, you know, in reference, "Oh, I don't have no money. I'm broke." You hear that sometimes from a lot of the older folks, but they're not broke. Where do you think that come from? What do y'all think that come from, Jimmy? What you think?
People ain't had shit.
Right.
We not that far removed from slavery, cuz. People ain't had shit. A lot of people, you had some blacks from that era that did make themselves into multimillionaires, but it wasn't a whole bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of our entire lineage is broke.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't had shit.
Right.
I would say probably, honestly, in the 50s and 60s, you know, we started developing our own middle class. Our shit ain't along with them white folks. Them white folks been here the whole time. They've been in charge the whole time. If they fucking broke, fuck them. You had all the chances in the world to not be broke. Nothing stood in your way. For black folks, we had 500 years of slavery, and we still being oppressed. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I bet you didn't think I was going to take that angle, did you?
Hey, but real quick, the tag on
I knew you was gonna take that. Go ahead.
but the tag on to that real quick. Back in the day, we bragged about, or people bragged about the work. People just bragging about the money now. It's a difference. See, back in the day, said I had to work 72 hours in a week. I had to work 80 hours in a week. I had to get a second job. This day and age, they don't do that. They just try to show you the money. Just because you can show it to me don't mean you really got it. Because you probably don't even own it. Obviously, with the PPP, you know, stuff is skewed. So you can't really say it's a different definition of back then than it is now.
I want to piggyback real quick off of something Jimmy said that brought to mind a story. I'm sure you guys probably have heard about it when he was talking about like the disadvantages and the oppression that Black folks are still suffering or dealing with as far as in the community or in this country, as far as acquiring wealth and having things. And it was a story about a family who bought a home. And they actually put in all these hundreds of $1,000s worth of work into the home, and they had the house appraised.
Mm-hmm.
And it appraised for very little over what they originally bought the house for. So they got creative. And that's what I would recommend for a lot of Black folks. You got to sometimes get creative and beat people at their own game. They got creative. They requested another appraisal. They had one of their white friends come to the house and pretend like she was the lady. And the lady brought her pictures of her family and put them around the home. So when the appraisal came, which was the older white lady, when she appraised the house, they got what they knew that house was worth in that second appraisal. And sometimes as Black people, you got to think outside the box. You got to learn to not talk so much and just listen sometime. I have a friend of mine who used to go to the ale house and to Ruth Chris and just sit at the bar sometimes, have drinks and listen to the white dudes talk business. You know, they're talking. Sometimes you got to listen instead of talking. And you can pick up a lot of things sometimes. And you can reverse that broke mentality, but you got to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone sometime and step outside of the box. We get so complacent and comfortable with where we are because we can go and, I'm finna mess with you, Leander, buy some crabs on the weekend or, get a bottle, get us some little smoke. And we content with that shit. But that ain't what it's all about. My mother owned properties, but she was the type of person, and because she was a child of the 50s, born in the 50s, they believed in if you get something and pay for it, you hold on to it.
Yes.
Whereas those other folks know that you draw some of that equity out of that shit and you go flip it and make some more money. You create generational wealth. People get trapped into that broke mentality. When you think you living, you ain't really doing shit because these other people flipping it and fucking the game up. And you ain't really doing nothing but own a couple of little shanty houses. You know what I'm saying? Man, learn to pull that money out. When that market go up, you grab some of that equity and you flip it into some more properties. My mother didn't want to do that. So she's selling me the house for $5,000 and I'm finna do it.
Well, I hope
It is what it is.
your favorite drink is
You got
Snapso.
one for me?
Hope you're on that Snapso. Me and my boys can give you about $7,000.
I'm telling you, bro.
Get it
No.
from my
I'm trying to work on my portfolio. You know what I mean? Because I know it's things I'm trying to set up. I'm about to have like I tell people, I'm about to have my 5th grandchild. He gonna be a boy. I got 4 girls and finna have a boy. I'm trying to set them up to where they will have a fighting chance because it's only getting worse. It's only getting harder. And it's like you gotta have that hustler mentality. Fuck having broke man mentality. You gotta have a hustler spirit, a hustler mentality. Because one thing about a hustler, they know what they worth, they know the game, they know where they going, they know what they gotta do to get there.
Oh yeah. A lot of times we judge a book by its cover. We see people with all these toys. We don't know how they got there. They have to have a certain kind of mentality to a certain extent, to do what they got to do. I'm going to tell you my story. I grew up in Carolina. Everybody know that. And, family there, they wasn't broke. I'm not going to say in no poverty like from the 20s. That's what I've seen. So in the community, I'm not talking about my family. I used to always hear people say, "Oh, I ain't never got no money." They had money. That was just that mentality. So I said, Lord, if I ever leave here, I would, even if I only have $2, I would never have the mentality. The first thing come out my mouth is I'm broke. I don't care if I got 50 cents. And I stuck to that mentality to this day. I don't care if I got a nickel. I always say, no, I ain't broke. That automatically think it that I'm broke. Jimmy in Carolina, have you ever experienced anything like that?
Let him go first.
People that's gonna be successful, people that's gonna our parents is giving us a chance.
Right.
Like to go back to what I said the first time. Like our parents is this is the first group of black people that can really give their next generation a chance. You cry broke so that you have something later. Like Nicole said, you saving money for a rainy day, it may never rain. That's what the old generation does.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Our generation I ain't even gonna lie, I don't give a fuck about no money. But I understand in order to be here, I gotta have some of that shit, or it's gonna be rough. You feel me? So don't look at what somebody else got because you don't know what come along with that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna pick before you answer, Carolina. I know a family right now that has, say, 33 acres of land. It's been sitting there, I'm gonna say since 1840, 1850. And guess what they do with it? You already know the answer. What do you think they're doing with it right now? What y'all think?
Letting it go to the city or the state.
It's still there, yeah, but you kind of right. Nothing at all.
They're not paying the taxes on it.
They do that. They do that, but it's just that broke mentality.
33 acres?
Yeah, hold on a minute. It's sort of like a broke mentality to say that, okay, we had this land, but you could rent it out to what you call it, truck stop, RV parking. Because
you said 33 acres?
33 acres. 33. I have an RV, so this dude has, I think it's about 25 acres, nothing but trucks and RVs parked there. The land is paid for. So guess what? I pay $60 a month and there's hundreds of trucks out there. So you can't imagine what this man making. But this one family, African Americans, holding on land, stingy. You know what I'm saying? Just holding it. They could have been millionaires on their own without nobody from the outside or nothing. It just woods. If you want some firewood for the winter, call them up. They'll cut a tree down. But that's all they got to go. Firewood. That's it.
If it ain't making dollars, it ain't making sense.
Right.
These days, for the people that's listening, because 33 acres almost equate 33. You said 33, right?
33.
33.
Yeah.
33 acres right now is almost the equivalent to the penny of $33 million. I don't give a fuck where your land at. They not making no more of it.
Nope.
They sure not.
Hey,
33 acres of land makes you more money than you going to work.
that's
Yeah.
two subdivisions.
Yeah.
That's two
Bruh,
subdivisions.
It's whatever you want it to be. It's
Gas
property.
station, malls, mini plaza. You know,
Check it out though. Before you answer, I seen like about on my job. I visited, some land that was about 25 acres cleared just to see how big it is. So imagine 33 acres when you see it clear, making money. That is huge.
Man, look.
Broke
Hey,
mentality.
I'm
hey,
not-
straight
I'm not-
strip
I'm
mall,
not-
man.
Yeah, I'm not
Strip
telling you
mall.
what I heard now. I'm
This
telling
is the
you
thing about
factually.
this is the thing about property, right? Because they aren't, it's never gonna be no more property, cuz until it turn the water world and we gotta live on the ocean or in a spaceship or whatever the fuck. This is what we got, and it ain't that much more of it. You
And the
feel
land
Man.
is sitting at least 100 years.
I wish I had some land when they was building the interstates in Charleston, boy. I wish I had some land. Cause guess what? Them people who sold that land for them interstates and them ports and all that, boy, they rich right now. Filthy.
Yeah.
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 I mean,
You got to do something with it besides pay the taxes.
right.
I get it. I get it that you want it to stay in the family. And that might be the downfall of the family. We don't even like each other half the time. So when you talking about heirs property and
Oh, I'm glad you said that. Great.
27 people
Yeah.
owning this fucking property, they'd rather be, it's sad, bro. Some of them would rather see you broke than to make themselves rich with you.
Yeah. Ooh, wee. Say that again. Are you a parakeet?
Bruh.
You want to say it again? Say it again.
Some of them people would rather see you broke than for them to get rich with you. And that's our family, man.
Yeah.
I stay on the condition. We ain't never gonna do the powerful shit we could do until we do it together.
Right. This is the broke mentality laugh right here. I'm gonna do it again. That's it.
Yeah. Nigga just bought some, excuse me, the brother just bought some J's just now. He got 32 pair of J's in the closet. He just bought some J's just now. For what?
Right.
Hey, as soon as he leave the store, ain't worth a penny.
Carolina, what you got, man? I'm sorry. Go ahead. We don't want to hold you out too long. What you got?
No, man. Like I said, this is a sensitive topic for me. So I just feel like the power to have a choice is the most important power you got. So if you got land, you have a choice: either make money now or have a vision for that land later. People don't want the vision now because the vision takes paperwork, it takes advice, it takes legal work, it takes physical care, it takes mental care. People don't want to deal with that right now. You got to remember we're in a microwave society.
Mhm.
If we invest, we want a return within a year. But if the land is what it is, which means more than likely it hasn't been touched, pipes haven't been laid through it, it's natural dirt, natural trees. It's a lot of other companies that will buy into the land and take stuff off the land. If you got 10 acres of land, right? They had a program Clemson used to do where you'll plant trees. And you ever look in the country where you got trees that are lined up straight everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
every land? They'll do that. 10 years later, come cut all those trees down and cut your check for $50,000.
Right.
That is an investment and it's still yours.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a vision. So you saying I got 50,000 waiting on me in 10 years off 3 acres? Well, let me go buy another 3 acres, and I can do that on another 10 years, and that return will come in 5 of the other 10. So
Every
really,
time you cut it down, plant another one.
you just made another 100,000 in 3 years. Well, in about 5 to 6 years instead. All that is planning, but we would rather plan on. I get to the mall at 12 o'clock. Them J's drop at 1. I'm about 37th in line. Yeah. You see
What?
that? You see all that, man? You see all that Mission Impossible that just happened with that? And
Right.
with the land that's already yours, you won't take the same Tom Cruise approach to it.
Yeah, that's another thing too. We look at well, not saying we, because apparently this panel seems to be
Yeah.
more enlightened than others, but for the most part, young folks especially, I feel like we as some of the elders of this generation need to pass that knowledge down, because I'm gonna tell you, like I said, when you got the parents that's coming from the 40s and 50s, they were so used to having so little to what they do have, they want to hold on to. They, you
Right.
know, investments and doing other things, buying rental properties, getting a portfolio, even dealing with stocks and you know, stuff like that. That's things that a lot of them don't really touch. You got some that's a little savvy and they know their things. I'm speaking on Black folks now. But we, with us knowing, each one teach one. And if you pass that along to your children, instead of, you know, them out trying to get the latest and greatest stuff. See, they get so caught up in the flash and seeing the athletes and the stars have all of this fancy stuff. But what they don't know is those people have somebody in their ear telling them things to put their money on behind the scenes. That's how they flash. That's how they flossing this cause. A lot of these little bullshit ass rappers and stuff like that, they ain't making that money on the mic like that. Some of them be done flip that money. And that's how they doing stuff. Some of it be loaner stuff. I mean, let's be real. A lot of the cars be leased and all that shit too. So you getting caught up in the damn, what that is when you're in the desert, a mirage. You seeing a mirage, you seeing some bullshit. The truth of the matter is, you gotta break the cycle. You gotta think out the box sometimes, and sometimes you gotta roll the dice and take reasonable chances. And I would tell anybody, take those chances while you're while you're young, earlier than later, to where you can kind of rebound from them if things don't work out the way they should. I mean, everybody know the market goes up and down, things happen. I mean, like now we in a little housing thing, it's a seller's market. So shit, it ain't gonna be good for the investor, people that's trying to buy up houses, that it ain't a good time for you right now. So a lot of times you got to be able to weather the storm, but you got to be willing to go out and play in the rain every now and then to take a chance, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know. And I feel like if you strategically make your moves, it could work out in your favor. But Black folks be so scared to make a move. You're just so scared. Just,
Hey, look.
it pisses me off, man.
We gonna hold on to this land, and then we gonna pass it down to another generation, then another generation.
Land. I mean, like you say, if the land ain't making you no money, that's just like having a nigga land up in your house that ain't doing nothing. Come on, I need you to work, bro. I need you to bring in a little coin, and you need to have that money generate. You got to have that land or something generating something, or a plan to generate some money from it. Like he was saying, like Carolina Dort was saying, you got to have something either down the road. You got to have a vision. You just can't be out here just spinning tires, not going nowhere. What good is that? What good are you to anybody? You know what I'm saying? We live and we all got a date to get up out of here. You need to try to turn and burn and do what you're gonna do in this time you're here, so you can live and have a good time, man. My goal is, I want to get money up. Like I tell people, I don't want to be filthy rich. I just want to be comfortable and want to be able to go to where I want to go, with who I want to go with, and do what I want to do. That's what I want, you know.
I know that's
and
right.
That's what I want my kids to have.
Our grandfather told us, Carolina and Jimmy, it's two things you guaranteed to have. Somebody gonna wash your ass when you born, and they gonna wash your ass when you die.
For sure. He ain't lying either. And hopefully you'll die with some people around you to where they find your ass, to where somebody can wash you. You know what I mean? I mean, it is what it is. Some people be hermits living out in them damn same woods you don't want to sell. You got a little hut on it, and you out there and don't nobody know nothing about it. You've been dead and gone 2, 3, 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So,
I tell you what. Give me some property. I'm selling it. It's gone just like that. Hey, what you want to buy? What you want to put a gas station? You want to put a mixed use development over there? I got you.
I ain't selling you nothing. You can borrow it.
I'll rent it to you.
No, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna sell. I'm gonna sell because you know as well as you know as well as I know. You know as well as I know, I'm not fitting to rent out to nobody. If you're gonna pay me $500 million for this land to put it as a mixed use, it's gone, ready, highway, everything.
No.
When you say it like that,
No, because if he offer you 500 mil, another dude offer you more than that.
Look,
He came
that's what I'm
low
talking about.
ball. No, but he came with a low ball. You can't get rid of it, and that's the other thing when it comes to generational wealth. People are getting scammed out there land because of that. If somebody come and offer you, hey, I give you $200,000 for 5 acres, you get that. Man, Walmart just dropped the whole building over there that would have gave you more money for that. But you got to do your research. You got to learn.
Yeah.
Always got to remember you have choices. The choices, even though they throw money in your face, you got to think of the bigger picture. If this little store right here is willing to give me 200,000, and they sell some of the same products as Target or Dollar General or whatever, there's another company just like that that's not around here that's willing to give me more money. So you wait it out because really they're on the clock because they're making all the preparations to come mow down the land. So they're on the clock more than you're on the clock. So you make them ride that clock to the last minute. You already paying for what they're going. If you don't get the deal, you still paying for the same land.
Mhm.
So make them hold up and see how much money you get out if you truly want to sell. But you got to understand, once you sell it, that value has probably just risen, depending on who bought it, probably just risen like 3 to 4 to 5%.
Right.
So now you looking stuck. You sold the land, you got 200 in your pocket, but this $1 billion company just moved in. I mean,
Just
Right.
sell
you
a
got
piece
you,
of the land. Just sell a
yeah,
piece. Don't give them the whole thing. Just sell a piece.
I tell you what,
you break it up
I
in
ain't gonna sell
pieces.
it. I ain't gonna sell a piece. I rent out a piece. I put a strip mall on it so everybody can pay me rent and let somebody like Belks or Home Depot be an anchor store. Do that.
You
But
know,
a lot of
you
them
know,
stores, man, really buying their own buildings nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but you don't really want a strip mall. You would want a construction zone, like something where, like industrial alley, like where the 18 wheelers get maintenance, where the buses get maintenance, where the state gets maintenance. You want an industrial alleyway where maintenance is always get done because it wouldn't really matter, especially if you're covered over the state laws and state protections. You know that check is guaranteed regardless. So I mean, it depends if the land is like that. That's what you want.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna confirm what you said, Carolina. Where I park my RV, he has Amazon trucks there, Amazon
Uh,
trailers, and I've been renting there about 3 years. Mine is real low because it's really a tractor trailer lot. And he showed it to me. He makes $60,000 a month. He don't do nothing. He put some lights up, and that's it.
Dude, that's like I don't know if the numbers is correct. If Verizon goes, you got land, and Verizon puts tower in your land, I think they pay you like 40,000 a year or 20,000 a year.
Mhm.
It's the same damn land that you run on as kids, but people don't know how to put that paperwork in. Like I said, all that shit is by choice. You can live right now for right now,
Mhm.
or you can live for later right now. That's a
Mhm.
big difference.
Because if he sold the land and say 500 grand, and he's getting
That
what
was a bar right there, bro.
I'll say
Huh?
what 50, 60 grand a month, calculate that times 12. He's over $1 million a year for the
Yeah.
rest
Yeah,
of his life.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not doing
But
shit.
once again, that's an investment. And that's him not taking the first order. That's like him saying, how can I better this vision right that I got right now? And
Mhm.
it don't take much. You got to think the easiest inventions or the most productive inventions are the easiest ones that came up with. They weren't thinking outside the box. They were thinking in simplicity. Like the dude is a black dude that owns or made the Super Soaker. His story is he wanted to shoot water from one side of the bathroom to the other, and he's 100 millionaire just for that simplicity. It wasn't nothing. He worked for NASA or something. So why do you need to shoot water from one side of the bathroom to the other? He figured it out, and now he's a millionaire.
Yeah, that is
You know,
correct.
I got a friend of mine. She was talking about buying some land for a cemetery. I thought that was a
Mm.
good
Yeah,
idea. She was like, because that's something that people's
yeah,
always going to need. You're going to always need a place to put your loved ones. I mean, that's something everybody gonna die. So I'm like, damn, that's pretty
everybody.
good, you know.
But not only that, like up north, the ground is frozen,
Right.
so they put them in tombs until the summertime.
Yeah.
Well, you already know they probably charge them extra $300-400 a body just to put them in the tomb, just to have the funeral later.
Yeah.
And that's not including if you got your own funeral home at the cemetery that's doing the work. People are always gonna die,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
make it beneficial for you where it doesn't look like it's work for you. to provide a service. Because once it looks like it's work, you lose interest, and anybody else can swoop in and take your same idea. Because now it became work, so it's in motion. You're not worried about other people taking your idea. But if you love what you're doing and you found a niche for it, make sure you love it. Because if you love it, you'll always protect that idea where you're doing your copyrights, you're doing your trademarks, you're doing all your paperwork, so can't nobody else take it from you.
Right,
That's the
Yes.
right.
most important part.
Yes.
I went out to eat with a family member, and I'm treating, but one of the things that I didn't like, you know, this the broke mentality. Not that they were broke, it's just the mentality. Asking me if they can get this on the menu. I wanted to say so bad, shut up, get what you want.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't say I wasn't gonna
everybody.
say it. In my mind, I said it.
I mean, that's just how it is, man. Oh, can I get this again? No, just order what you're gonna order on the menu, and let's just keep it right. Let's keep it moving.
Okay, see, they
You
weren't
don't.
gonna order if they would have paid for it. That's the problem. That's not being who
Right.
you are. They wouldn't have ordered it if they had to come out their pockets, which means you changing up on me because now you see me and I can afford it. You're saying now, can I order it? First of
Hey,
all, you're looking in my pocket because you already know I can afford it. So that's why you asked me, can I get this?
Yeah.
But if it's on your dime, you wouldn't have did it. So be who you are and not order the shit because you wouldn't have ordered it anyway.
hey, I tell you what. Hey, give this a test. Take everybody out to dinner, man, and tell people, hey, look, man, y'all got to pay for your own food, and just sit back and just watch the reaction.
I
Oh,
ain't got to tell them. I'm just gonna get up and leave.
Yeah.
You can tell who gonna be like, oh man, I don't know. I think I'm gonna just get an appetizer menu. You know what I mean? It only costs about $5. You know.
Just bring me a Bud Light with a bottle. Bring me a Bud Light in the bottle.
Listen, that's one of my things I hate. You going like Applebee's. I think it was Applebee's had that 2 for $25 or whatever whatever it was, 2 for $10 or whatever. Man, I don't never order that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, bro. What I want is on the inside of the menu. You know what I'm saying? That is,
Right.
I
$2 for
just,
$2.
I'm just not cheap like that when it comes to eating and stuff, especially if I'm out
Oh
with my
yeah,
friends or
I'm
whatever and
gonna
I
eat.
invite people out. I mean, if I tell you let's go, that means I got it. Yeah, I mean, it ain't no questions about it. Let's get it, and we gonna have a good time. The drink gonna flow, the food
I'm,
gonna flow. Let's do
I'm
it.
gonna eat.
But you got people
That's
you just got people be stuck in a broke mentality like that. I remember a few years back, my mom had, elective surgery at age 59. And she had a couple of little complications and ran into little problems and stuff. And I remember she old school, like to go through at the bank, she liked to go through the line and let the little tube come down and put the little checks and stuff. So she had already been out prior for a foot surgery. So she was already getting her little disability checks from the company. So she had a stack of them. And I say, well, Ma, I'm going to take you and show you how to deposit these checks at the ATM. So you ain't got to wait through all these cars. So we get up there to the thing. Let me pause the story and just say this. She said she waited to get the surgery at that age because she didn't have the money for it earlier. Right? Get up to the ATM. I said, okay, put your little code in. She put the code in. So I turned so we could do the rest of the transaction. This lady had thousands of dollars, check-ins and savings. And I'm like, lady, you could have got this surgery 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Like, Mom, what is you doing? I couldn't believe it. And I was still to this day, it kind of bothers me because my mom was really bad off. She was really bad off. It was a little touchy go. It was a little scary at sometimes. And I was like, dude, we went through all this, but that mentality, that I'm broke mentality almost cost you your life, man. You could have been younger going through this. You know what I'm saying? You older now, and you almost was out of here. And I was kind of mad. I was shocked. When I saw the numbers, I'm like, what's going on here? I couldn't believe it. And still to this day, I think about that, and I'm like, that's the craziest shit I ever seen in my life, right there. I just couldn't believe it.
I got a question for y'all. What y'all think gonna happen to the broke mentality, man, when this cryptocurrency, man, take over?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's gonna happen is I'm gonna ride this wave. And if you choose not to ride it, choose not to ride it. But don't look up at me while I ride this wave because Wave ain't always gonna be there. So when I'm coming down, I'm not gonna be looking at you for help. I'm gonna be trying to find my way up off this wave onto another one. If you are not up to date with technology and the future of cryptocurrency, you are gonna be a dinosaur. It's gonna be worse than showing people. No, for real, it's gonna be worse than showing people how to count. Because the way the cryptocurrency goes, I tell you what, this is my subject now. If you got cryptocurrency in Robinhood, you cannot take that cryptocurrency out. If you
Wow.
have cryptocurrency in crypto, Voyager, Coinbase, you can take your cryptocurrency out. Robinhood will not allow you to take your cryptocurrency out without a penalty, which means if you leave Robinhood, you have to cash out. If you cash out, you are filing your taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So that is earned income. If anything happens to the Robinhood network, you lose everything. But you have a lot of security because of that. So it go both ways. But the other websites, you get your crypto wallets and your ledgers, and you can actually take those and almost like a flash drive, put your money on it, and you can take it to whatever other cryptocurrency place you want to take it. But I promise you, if you cannot look at something and read numbers, not do math, read numbers.
Be able
Five,
to tell if it's going up or down.
five is less than six. That's it. Five is less than six.
It's an
That's all
evolution,
you.
man. So as we've lived like we not cave people no more, right?
Nah, hell,
And we
we
not
far from that.
old motherfuckers with white wigs on, and we not slaves no more. Like, ain't no more dinosaurs and shit. Like, that's called evolution. Life is going to continue to change. Cryptocurrency is the next best thing. If you probably older than 45, 50, you not fucking with cryptocurrency. Because it don't make sense to you. But
Yeah, because you
everybody
can't
under
touch
that,
it.
right? It's not
Yeah,
tangible.
you can't
It's
touch
not
it.
tangible.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm 45, and crypto didn't really make sense to me either.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you. When I went to California, with them good old white boys was out there talking about that cryptocurrency. And
Yep.
Nicole logged in. Nicole bought her some crypto, baby. I
Yeah.
ain't
Right.
Robinhood. I'm with Coinbase. And actually, earlier this year when I was like found unfit for duty or whatever, I think I told you, Leander, and I hadn't been working, I hadn't been back on the boat or whatever. I cashed out some of my crypto. I cashed out some of my money, and
Okay,
I
I'm, I'm,
still
I'm
got
gonna say
money in
right.
there. Still got money in there making money. You know what
Good.
I'm saying? So I
No,
was able to pull some out and handle some business, but I still got some in there going, and more than likely we'll be putting some more in there too.
Right.
let me tell y'all this real quick, man. I'm sorry. I tell you this is my shit right here. But cryptocurrency, you can buy shares of cryptocurrency for less than you can for stock. You can buy a cryptocurrency for 4 cents. So basically,
Oh,
everybody's on Doge.
uh,
Everybody's on Dogecoin, right? So Dogecoin
man,
was riding.
less than that. Hey, less than that, bro. Less than
Yeah,
that. I'm gonna tell you, if you got Cash App and you got a Cash App card, they got a little thing at the bottom called them. You can boost. Man, you could just go buy stuff, man, and they give you like 10%, man, of the Bitcoin or whatever. Every time you
yeah, but
swipe
but
that card, you get some crypto.
yeah, but it's different.
Carolina, what you say?
Crypto, Cash App's crypto is different. Cash App's crypto is just Bitcoin, and that's it. That's it. But you got Robinhood and all these other ones. I looked at this somebody's comment today right before we logged on, and she did Dogecoin. She had Dogecoin for a long time, and she just cashed out her Dogecoin yesterday. Jimmy B, I sent it to you. You ain't look at your phone. She
Mm.
cashed out 15 G's
Nice.
off cryptocurrency. She cashed out 15 G's, and she still has some left.
Probably
But that's
off
the
of
new age.
$300. Her
But that's
buy-in was probably 300.
that's the thing about being left behind and are you broke? She could have been broke, walking around here broke, but had cryptocurrency stacked up. So she is not broke. It's just your interpretation of how you see me at that time. My white tee, y'all see me wear every TV show. If y'all see me in the club, I still might have a white tee on. Yeah, that nigga stay in a white tee. He just broke. But it's not about it. It's about everything else that's around you. And matter of fact, What also don't make you broke is the people around you. Because
Ooh,
the people around you will not allow you to be broke physically or mentally.
yeah,
And
back.
once again, it's still a choice. It's still a choice. But on this panel right here, our conversation right now says y'all will not allow me to be broke because the information we pass.
Correct.
Right.
There's people out there that cannot have this conversation without, hey, let me cut a little joke. Hey, let me light up some weed. Hey, let me take a bathroom break. No, it's important information. And
Can
people
I
don't
say
see that.
something? Can I say something else too? Crypto and getting into the new age, the new money that's generating around the world now. That's one thing too. And also people too need to get it away from the mentality, not talking about life insurance, not getting life insurance. People of other races buy policies and set their survivors up.
Ooh, hey, please.
We so quick.
Ooh,
Black folk, they if they do have a policy, they're gonna give maybe a little 5, 10,000, just throw me in the hole. Man, what? Man,
I did
listen,
I did mine the
get
day
you,
before this.
but you buying cases of beer, you buying bottles, you buying all this other extracurricular shit that's gonna put you in the hole faster. You know what I mean? You doing all this stuff that's gonna get you in the hole faster, and somebody gonna have to bury your ass. Now people up there GoFundMe. Man, I can't stand. I know it happens to people, and I know everybody don't have it like that, but I feel like everybody could have it like that because everybody has a vice that they spending money on every week, sometimes every day. I can't stand the GoFundMe thing.
Oh yeah.
Now it's different when people in the hospital and sometimes you racking up those medical bills and this and that, and you may need some help, but hell, you could still buy extra life insurance. It's all these policies and stuff, this Medicaid, all this stuff going on out here. People can have health care. But people putting these GoFundMe's when little JoJo done got shot on the corner because he was beefing with Deontay around the corner and all that shit. And now you got to do a GoFundMe. I can't stand that.
Hey,
Get you some life insurance policies. I'm here to tell you, when my children, I have it on my children. I got 2 on me. Each one of my grandchildren, when they be born, they don't even be 24 hours. If they born on the weekend, I have to wait to that Monday to call. But you best better believe I call the next day if it's during the week. Sometimes the day of, because all of them was born in the morning time. Matter of fact, I have bought policies the day of. The next day or that next business day, oh yes, I'm calling, I'm buying policies, and then occasionally I may get it to where I upgrade, just do a little increments, little keep boosting it up a few $1,000s or whatever, and it is what it is. I have policies on them, and it's not that I want something to happen so I could go buy me a new Cadillac or some bullshit like that. I want to make sure if something happens, everything is taken care of. If something happens to me,
Right.
my children are set. My grandchildren are set. I got policies. I got one to put me in the hole and one to set them up. And that's what it is. And that's all I could do for right now.
Yeah.
And I told them, I said, I got 2, one for me, one for you. And that's what it is. And I think people need to stop being so afraid of death and afraid to have these discussions. As families, you need to get together and have these discussions and think about setting your people up, not just putting somebody in the hole, but let me set you up, because other people doing it. Other people is doing
Yeah.
it every fucking day. And we
Definitely.
refuse to go there. And I can't, that's one of my pet peeves. Y'all see I'm getting
No, go ahead.
emotional about
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah. You
That's
good.
one of my
You
pet
good.
peeves. I
Express
can't
yourself.
rock with that,
Oh,
because like I said, with my children here, I made sure they was covered, my grandchildren, and I'm gonna continue to do it. I got a policy, Lord willing, I got a policy to buy in a couple of months, and I'm gonna buy it, and them payments gonna be made.
Yeah.
that's what like
Period.
I used to work. I used to work for the Target warehouse, and I had my daughter. When my daughter was born, she was born with a bad heart. I had wanted to quit Target so fucking bad, but I knew if I stayed there, I would get the surgery done with my Target insurance.
Right.
Now that's playing chess. People aren't
Yes.
doing it. They up there quitting this job, and you don't know the help. Fast forward, we had a bill. One of our bills came out. My daughter had 2 open heart surgeries before she was 2. $250,000. As much as I hated my fucking job, I never went to a GoFundMe. I never went to nobody and said, "Hey, bro, I need money." I would drive back and forth from Columbia to Charleston every week, but I knew what I had. do. I knew what chess moves I had to play, and one of them was a sacrifice and keep this job who's going to give me all my health benefits, all my dental benefits, all that.
Mm-hmm.
But it allowed me to put more care into my daughter because I'm not worried about the bills. I'm not worried about because they still got to pay me even though I'm not at work. Like
Yeah.
all that matters. But people don't think about all the little stuff that matters, and that's the problem. And that comes back to the generational curse because you choose not to learn, but then you choose not to learn on your own. Because you can choose not to learn because you don't want to read all this stuff. But if he if under trees having topics like this, and you're choosing not to listen to this one, but you listen to one with JJ and Thelma, you're choosing not to learn. And I think that's the problem. It's not lights, it's not glitter, it's not music, it's nothing that arouses you visually. This should arouse you through your ears. And I think that's the problem. People get aroused through all the ass and titties through the ears, but when it comes to something like this, they don't care to hear.
Hey man, everybody love entertainment, man. You can't push the entertainment to the side. You
You gonna
gotta
die
have
on that
entertainment.
entertainment. No, you gonna die on that entertainment.
I'm gonna handle
This is the
business
thing.
But
first.
but the
Let me
thing
say this.
about it is,
Hold
go
on,
ahead,
TC,
go ahead,
real quick, real
Pastor
quick.
Mark. Go ahead.
Excuse me, just 1 second. We had the insurance man on here, Smalls Win, about when 3 months, 4 months. I don't remember.
Oh man, that was at the top of the year, I believe.
I don't remember. I had the rep from New York Life on here, the
Yeah,
direct contact. So that's he's from Moncks Corner, actually, South Carolina, and my frat brother from New York Life, and his associate that writes the policy. So when my daughter turns 62, I'll be long gone. But anyways, she'll be a millionaire. Same thing that you were
Yeah.
saying, Tricky Nikki. The
right.
exact same thing.
All that passes down. Yep.
Right. Yeah, she'll be a millionaire. Her policy will be paid by the time she's 24 years old. She ain't got
Mhm.
to do nothing, period. Just cash it in when she's 62 years old. She'll be a millionaire. She ain't got to
Yeah,
do nothing.
I got one of those policies where I only pay for a few years, and then it's my policy. I own it. That's the one I told them to use to throw me in the hole. The
Right.
other one that they'll get money from is the one that I pay. I will be continuing to pay on. But like I told them, I say, hey, y'all keep having all these damn babies now. That cut gonna get a little smaller, so y'all better snip or pull out or something, because every time somebody born, that shit got to be divided up one more time. So.
Right.
But I just believe in that, getting the life insurance policies and setting them up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at that point, hopefully I have instilled enough in you to where you would take that money to purchase you a home, get you some rental property, do something with it besides go buy a damn Hellcat or a Charger, whatever the fuck they driving
Hell
now.
They
yeah.
gonna do
You know
that
what I'm
shit.
saying? Hopefully you will do that. You will do something that gonna set you up further, you know what I'm saying, to where you could pass it down. I believe in passing stuff down. I believe that. I think sometimes in my life that's been a downfall of mine, is I'm always reaching back trying to pull a motherfucker up with me. You know what I'm saying? And at the same
Oh,
time, I'm trying to save them. They drowning me. You know what I mean? So, but I still have hope for the future. And I still believe in teaching. I still believe in talking and lead by example. Like I said, with my children, I actually set them down, which now I know Credit Karma ain't the best thing to go on as far as your credit scores and stuff. But I taught them stuff like credit utilization, debt to income ratio. These was terms that my family never had. My mama just said, don't make no bill if you can't pay it. That was it. Cut and dry. It wasn't nothing about credit. It wasn't nothing about none of that. Establishing credit and having a credit mix, and all of that verbiage that I'm hearing now, or that I had to learn later in life. I'm teaching my kids that. And just last week, they're all the young adults, but they've stumbled and fell along the way too much of the time, because I done so much for them to where when I pulled back, they couldn't totally stand on their own, and they stumbled and I let them fall a little bit. But I just reached back and put all three of them on my 3 major credit cards so they can get that positive trade line. They getting that credit, my credit history and all of that. Did I get a card? Hell no. We don't need no card. I just want them on there getting the credit mix. So I'm doing those because, see, this stuff that's other folks been doing for years. Their kids turn 17, 18 years old. They got damn near 800 credit score. They coming out of high school into college with A1 credit. Whereas we out stumbling in the fall, you done messed up a little some shit you been got at rental center or errands or something, you know, and now here you is trying to be out here and you got to scrape and scrounge just to get to where other people are born basically having. You know, you got kids with credit scores better than grown ass people that's doing 40 plus hours a week. So I chose to add my children to my Bank of America, my USAA, and my Navy Federal credit cards, and just give them a good line of credit. You know, just a credit history basically, but they ain't getting no card now.
That's the
I want to add
curse.
something to that, man. I want to add something to that, and I think, man, the broke mentality also falls in this category, where that your credit is so messed up, man, that you use your kid's name or you use your nephew's them name. So now, once you done use they little bit of credit that they trying to establish for themselves, when they grow up, they realize they can't get nothing because the family members done use their name to obtain all the bad credit that they couldn't get. You know what I'm saying? I think that right there falls in the line of broke mentality too, because you just like and you know, just like Nicole said, you got to set your kids up, because you got kids that's younger than us coming out with 800 credit scores. They ready for the world. People don't realize, man, that you don't have to have a bunch of credit, man, to have an 800 credit score, man. You can get a secure card for like $500. If that's something you know that you can pay, you can buy gas. I use mine to buy gas. I got $500 worth of gas. That's all I do is buy gas. Guess what? Every time you pay that card, man, whether you get $20 worth of gas, $30 worth of gas, or you buy a $5 piece of candy or something like that, guess what? That credit score stays steady. And then you're not utilizing too much of your credit. You know what I mean? As far as, you know, they score you on if you you're maxing your card out too much. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you keep your card like 50-50, you using maybe a quarter of it or whatever. They like that. When they see that, they'll easily give you something because they can trust you to pay the loan back or wherever you're trying to pay back on a house, car, or wherever you may want to get. But set your kids up to do the same thing. Soon as they, you know, I know a lot of schools probably do, or they don't teach kids how to get good credit. They just teach you to go out there. It's like a system already before you get out of school. Because guess what you're doing? You're getting up in the morning, you're going to school, you're eating lunch, and then you're going home. When you graduate from school, you're getting up in the morning, you're going to work, you're eating lunch, and then you're going home. It's the same thing. But what about every other thing that you got to have in life to go with that? The knowledge to say, look, man, I need to save money. The knowledge to say, look, I need to invest this into some property. You know, they don't teach you that in school. You got to learn that after school. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I ain't gonna say you got to learn after school. They set you up for the failure because regardless, they're gonna send you to this school that's $30,000 a semester. Put you on a student loan.
We got 7 minutes left. Go ahead.
Make you believe that you about to be this doctor, lawyer, you know, marine biologist, knowing this day and age, that's probably what you're not going to be. So you come out $40,000, $60,000 in debt. So now you're scrounging to get your debt just to get a house or a car. Now all that stuff is just packing on. But if you would have went back in the past and took that land that you had, invested in that land, maybe learn about that land, and became a farmer or something dealing with the land, all that is power moves. So we all got choices, but it seems like there is a generational curse, but the only way to beat the generational curse is having a choice. So kids got to understand they have choices now. Kids know they have way more choices now. They tell their parents no when nothing happened. We tell our parents no back in the day, it's time to go to war. So they have the power of choice and the power of effort. Those two things will break a generational curse. It don't matter what happens.
All right, hold on. Let me squeeze this in real quick. We got about 6 minutes. When it comes to tipping at restaurants, do you think some folks have the broke mentality and penny pinching when it comes to tipping the waiter or waitress, whether it's good service or bad service?
You only get tipped for good service. That's your fucking job.
I give tips regardless. I give tips regardless.
I'm not obligated. I'm not obligated to tip you because you're already getting a base pay. I understand your base pay is minimum wage or whatever. But just because you got that shitty job and you doing a shitty service, I'm supposed to give you more. But if I'm giving you more, that's acknowledging you that you doing a good job. When you only fill my water up one time.
This is true. About, I'm gonna say 26 years ago, I worked at Red Lobster part time. Back then, I was living in, I think, Memphis, Tennessee. This is true. With the broke mentality, it goes on in the back. Waitresses and waiters don't like waiting on black people of your own, even your own race, because it's already a perception you're not gonna tip anyway. I have been told when I was in the back, getting the food ready, say, Lee, you take them hoes. I don't want them hoes. Straight up. That y'all don't see. Right.
Well, I tell you, me,
I could do that.
it's all good what they saying in the background, as long as they ain't saying in front of me. But anyway, what I want to say is the reason why I tip all the time, whether you are good or bad or whatever, is because I remember where my mom's came from, and she had to feed us off of them tips. So every time I go in a restaurant, I don't care if you give me bad service or whatever, you might just having a bad day. I always remember the tip because I remember my mama trying to feed us off them little tips. So that's why I tip.
Right, there you go. But guess what? Jimmy B, Jimmy T. Matter of fact, I don't know what name you got. The IG in the front, I can't even see.
TBOTB.
60 seconds, what you got, brother? Give me some.
We talked about a lot today, man. Look, none of this shit is difficult. I smoke weed, and I do what the fuck I do. I tell jokes, but I can accomplish all these things that we talked about. It's a matter of knowing something. Figure out, if you don't know how to use a computer right now and you on Facebook, slap yourself 2 times. That's the same amount of knowledge it take you to run a Facebook page. You can have life insurance and stocks, and you can move the property and business.
Right. There you go. T-Smalls, 30 seconds, what you got?
Stop having the broke mentality, man. Go out there, man, and invest in yourself. Sometimes it might be hard. Sometimes you might think it's impossible to do, but consistency is the key. Stay consistent. Stay consistent, man. Matter of fact,
go ahead.
Okay. Matter of fact, I just want to say, man, if you don't think that's true, man, look what we doing right now. That's
there
proof.
You go. Tricky Nikki, what you got? 20 seconds. 20 to 30.
I would just say, pay your bills, then I would take the rest, do a 40, 30, 30, 40 for yourself, 30 for your savings, 30 for investments. That's it.
Carolina Dirt, 25 seconds.
Effort, choice, and invest in yourself. You can invest in yourself by taking that money and spreading it in other areas. But as long as you're in charge of those other areas, invest in yourself because you work harder for yourself than anybody else. Stay blessed.
Thank you for watching the Tree Podcast. I'm Pastor Palmer T. Smalls, Mr. IG, Jimmy, whatever it is. I don't know. I can't see that.
That's Jimmy B. Coolin on Instagram. Hashtag the bottom of the bottle. TBOTB.
Tricky Nikki, be safe tomorrow. Thanks for watching. We gone.